Okay, this is our second video in the pegboard assembly tutorials. Last time you made the three peg pieces here, the round peg, triangle peg, and the square peg. Today we're going to make the leg and the actual table here for your pegs to go into. If you've been following the directions that are on the website, they're a little bit different than the way we're going to do them today. This is actually a little bit simpler method, so we're going to show you how to do that here. First we're going to make the table here. It's the harder part. Go to New, iPro, New, select Standard Part, and we're going to make a table, or a rectangle here, and we're going to choose the X and Y plane, and we're going to make our rectangle here, and we're going to make that 5. Hang on just a second, let me look at the sheet here. It's going to be 5 3/4 wide, so 5.75. Tab, it's going to be 3/4 of an inch tall here, so 0.75. And hit enter. And there's our rectangle, 5.75 wide, 0.75 tall. We're going to finish the sketch. We're going to extrude that to a depth of 3 inches. So we end up with something like this right here. Alright, now we've got to put our holes here on the top. Now if we follow the directions, it will only have you put the circle and the square. They're going to have you go back later and add the triangle. We're just going to do them all at once here. So we're going to create a new sketch and select this top face. Okay, so the first thing we're going to draw our triangle right here in the center. We'll go ahead and get that out of the way first. Let's put that as 3. Select polygon. Come down here and find that center point. Click, drag straight up, and make your triangle. That's it for the triangle. Now, we're going to dimension this triangle. So we want from the bottom of the triangle, the base, to the height, the top point, we want that to be 1 inch. And then we want the bottom of the triangle to the bottom of the pegboard to also be 1 inch. Okay, so that takes care of our triangle. Now, we're going to add our circle and our square. So we're going to make a circle. And we're going to place that right here on this side. And this circle is going to be 1 inch in diameter. And we're going to make our rectangle over here, which is also going to be 1 inch by 1 inch. Alright, now we've got to position these squares and this circle where we want them to be. So we're going to come up here to Dimension, and we're going to select the center of the circle, center point in the left side of the pegboard. We're going to click, and we want that to be 1.4 inches from the side of the pegboard. Now, we also want the side of the square to be 1.4 inches, but we want the center point to be 1.4 inches. Since the center of this square would be 1/2 inch in, we're going to subtract 1/2 inch from right here to get our 0.9 dimension for this. So click on the right side of the square, the right side of the pegboard, and dimension this to be 0.9 from the edge. Okay, let's go scoot that over a little bit. And then we want to dimension the bottom of the square to the bottom of the pegboard to be 1 inch. And then we want to dimension the center of the circle to the bottom of the pegboard to be 1.5. There are our 3 pieces. We can finish the sketch up here. We can move that circle over a little bit more if we wanted to. So you could make that 1.45 or maybe even 1.5 if you want to scoot it over a little bit more. But right there is pretty good. Alright, we're going to extrude these shapes. So click Extrude, and then click the circle, the triangle, and the square. Make sure you click those first. Change distance to all. That's going to cut all the way through. Hit OK, and there is our pegboard. Okay, got all all three of our holes here. Now, we're going to save this. If you want to color it, you can go ahead and color it. Highlight both extrusion 1 and 2. Pick out your colors over here. Let's go with a wooden color here. Make this kind of old school looking. There we go. Then I'm going to save this as Pegboard 16. I'm going to change this to my Pegboard folder. So go to my network drive, find Pegboard. See, there's Pegboard 16. This is this year's Pegboard. Save there. Now, we're going to make the legs next. So go ahead and go to a new file, new standard.ipt, and select new sketch. You're going to make a rectangle again. So start from that center point. It's going to be 1 inch wide and 6 inches tall. So 1 tab 6, 1 inch by 6 inches. Finish that up and make it extrude out 3 inches. Okay. Now, we're going to cut a notch right here in the center of it to put our pegboard. So we're going to select Create 2D Sketch and select this right side. We're going to change our rectangle from 2-point to 2-point center so we don't have to do quite as much math here to figure out how to center up our square. So we find the exact center point here, right here, click, and this is going to be 3 inches wide, so it's going to go all the way to the edge, and the width, or height of it, excuse me, is going to be 0.75. So 3 tab 0.75. And there you see our rectangle goes all the way across, and it's 0.75 tall, and it's right there in the center of our peg leg. So we're going to extrude cut this piece. So click on the piece, switch directions. We don't want it going all the way through. We only want it going 0.75. So like I said, it cuts a little notch in there. And I'm going to color this the same color as my pegboard. Although if you want to color yours a different color, you're more than welcome to. Now, the cool thing about assembly files is we don't have to make this again. We can import this once, twice, 25 times, whatever we want to do. We're going to need 2 legs, but we'll only have to make it once. So save as Peg Leg 16. And that concludes today's video for the peg leg and the pegboard. So you should have 3 pieces here in the pegboard and peg leg. Next time we'll make the gavel here, the hammer or mallet.